And we welcome you back to Talk of the Town for this Tuesday, September the 8th. I'm Gary Stevens. If you missed our conversation last half hour with Ricky Levine of the Holland Museum, half of it was on Zoom, half of it over the phone. Some sort of glitch, but we're going to keep the gremlins away. In other words, don't give them any water. Remember the old movie? You put a little water on them, they turn from nice little cute things to But anyway, we'll try to keep the gremlins away in our Google Meet conversation with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen from DeBruyn Seed. It's time for the Yard and Garden Hour, brought to you by DeBruyn Seed, Washington, Elm, downtown Zeeland. Good morning, Jan.
Good morning.
Before we start talking about some of the issues that you have for us and some of the issues that you have, that is, listeners have for us, at 395-1450. I'll give DeBruyn the open forum to begin. Any big specials this week at DeBruyn?
Well, actually, fall fertilizer right now is on sale. So, and just in time for fall fertilizer. So yeah, you got to come in. The 20010 ProScape, what the landscapers use, is on sale. So that's a hot buy right now. And so is the turf nurture. If you want to kind of do a ringer type thing to your lawn, get rid of thatch and stuff, turf nurture would be the way to go. And that's also $5 off a bag. And the newsletters are just getting printed as we speak. And there's some great coupons in there.
All right. Again, DeBruyn Seed, Washington Elm, across from Venomous Mobile in downtown Zeeland. Get gas with the only full service station in our area.
Yes, that's right.
But no, you cannot leave your car at Venomous, have them fuel up, and you walk across the street to DeBruyn to get your goodies. No, you can't do that. You got.
We have people that do that.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Yeah, and then it becomes a little uncomfortable when we got to move this car.
Yeah, and then we have to carry it out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and today is the day. I bet you today it's like one of those days where a lot of people stop up and they ask Ken and the boys to deliver stuff to their vehicles, on a wet, rainy day. Yeesh.
Yes, but you know what? None of my guys melt in the rain, so they're just fine. And they've got umbrellas and rain suits, so don't feel sorry for them.
Okay, we'll try not to. 395-1450, 395-1450. Quick question before we get to, we'll do the awards category right off the bat. With the rain we're getting now, and basically dreariness until Friday, good, bad for some of the stuff you want to do with your yard and your lawn, or, is it a case of, wait till we get a little dryness before you do something?
Yeah, actually, if it gets too wet, that's, if you want to transplant some perennials or something, it gets a little soggy out there in times like this. So it's probably best to hold off on doing that right now. And yeah, there are some things that I wouldn't do. It's just a little wet. And when you walk on wet ground, we have a tendency to compact it, and we don't want to do that. So I'm glad I did my perennials on Sunday, so they're done. And just before the rain, I didn't get any rain Sunday night, but some people seem to. But yes, we certainly got rain last night, and yeah, they're being watered and they're happy. But if you're trying to do some transplanting of some perennials, probably best to wait until this dreary weather stops.
Yeah, it is somewhat dreary, and the thing is too. And you were talking about your some of the things that are on sale at DeBruyn, some specials dealing with fertilizer and stuff like that. It's better to have them drop the fertilizer on dry ground and let the water go in.
Let nature water it in. Yes, that's usually best. Otherwise, it might clump in the rain. I don't want that to happen because then you have a tendency to burn. So, yeah, probably best to wait until it's a little drier to do that.
395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, she'll be more than happy to answer it at 395-1450. A regular weekly feature when we chat with Jan, either in the garden party or during the Yard and Garden Hour, is Time for our weekly award winners. Most frequent issues that were brought up by customers at DeBruyn Seed that Jan, the master gardener, and others involved at the store have had to deal with. Let's talk about the most annoying problem of the week. Annoying is, I would say, Jan, mild. Not because of the frequency, but because this problem could cause, shall we say, it could be a stinging problem.
Yes, it's just stinging. Yes, it's all those wasps, hornets, yellow jackets that are out there right now. Went to a roadside stand yesterday and I wanted to get peaches and they were just covered with yellow jackets. And you know what? Walk away from that. They're just much too irritable right now. They are very aggressive right now. They're trying to get everything ready for fall. So they're not being very happy. They're not very happy and they can sting not just once like a little honeybee, they sting repeatedly. And those hornets are especially bad. So be very, very careful if you are allergic. And those hornets, they can, they get those little holes in the ground where they're in and out and you don't even see them. So if you're walking over your lawn, be kind of wary where you're seeing some insects flying in and out. That's a hornet hole and you're going to have to take care of that in the evening when they're not quite so busy.
Yeah, and let's put it this way: you cannot get rid of them. To be honest with, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can't get rid of them in one day. It takes a little effort.
It takes a little while. Don't expect to, spray once and it'd be all done. There's still going to be some left. So, be prepared to do it several times. They're just nasty. I'm sorry. I've got 2 hornet nests in my backyard alone. So, yeah.
Hey, can you help us at the store, please?
No, you can't help us at a store.
By the way, if you have a question for Jan, don't call the store.
Call us at 395-1450, 395-1450. CW McCall is trying to get a hold of Jan here.
Yes, I had my walkie-talkie on. Yes. Okay, so now we're all set.
Now we're all set. Now our insect of the week is not wasps. It's something entirely different.
It's grubs. All of a sudden, people are seeing grub damage. They're digging around in their soil and seeing those, they're about 3/4 of an inch to an inch long, white C-shaped grubs. And those are European chafer or Asiatic garden beetle or June bug or Japanese beetle. They all look the same. And don't make me try figure out which ones are which because I got to sit there and look at its back end under a microscope and not fun. So we're not going to do that, but it's time to take care of those things because they're out there, they're in force, and they are eating the roots of your lawn.
We'll tell you about how you can take care of them in a moment. Good morning. You're on the line with the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yeah, good morning. A couple questions. Our crabapple tree didn't get any crab apples on it. What was the reason for that? Do you know?
Yep, know exactly what it was. That week of freezing weather in May.
Okay. Okay. Now, second question is, we've got a lot of big beech nut trees in our backyard, and there's hardly any beech nuts this year. Some years they just fall by the dozens or by the hundreds. And what's the reason for that? Does that show anything about the winter coming on, or?
No, it shows how much stress they're under. If they're under a lot of stress, they'll send out lots of beech nuts because they want to reproduce. So obviously they're very comfortable this year and don't feel bad. They're good. So that's kind of nice.
Okay, that's wonderful. Good answer. Now the third question is, we want to transplant 1 or 2 maple trees that are growing out in the back of our property over to the front. When is the best time of year to do that?
Fall is the best time of year to do that. This would be a great time. Once it dries out just a little bit, if your lawn is real wet, don't do it. But this is a great time to do it. cooler weather, it
Okay.
will take right away.
So anytime now is okay?
Yep, you bet.
Okay. Hey, thank you.
I
You're
appreciate the
welcome.
call. Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen here on WHTC's Talk of the Town program. We talked about grubs, and your product of the week has something to do about getting rid of those grubs.
The product of the week is Dilox. It's flying off the shelves right now. We have 5 and 10,000 square foot bags. This is the week to put it down because you got to put it down and then have rain come and rain it in because it has to be washed in. Otherwise, it photo degrades out in the sun. We don't have any sun. We have rain. Perfect week to put your Dilox down.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Little moths in my lawn when I mow. What is that a sign of?
That is called sod webworms.
How do I get rid of them? What damage are they going to do?
They actually eat the grass blades. So yes, Dilox needs to be put down.
Dilox, is that a trade name, a brand name?
It's the name of the insecticide, Dylox.
So if I came to your store there, I would ask for Dilox?
You bet.
Liquid, granular.
It's a granule.
Thank you.
All right.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank you. 395-1450, 395-1450. Kills the grubs, kills the seed, those other little
Sod webworms, yes.
other things that you just don't want in your lawn. Let's continue with our awards category. Let's move to our weed of the week. And Poana is once again back on the weed of the week list.
It is right now with all that hot, dry weather. The Poana just kind of died out, and now everyone thinks they've got a fungus in the lawn because they've got this dead area in their lawn. And actually, it's Poana. If you start to rake it out, it rakes out really, really easily. So you need to rake it out. You need to get good grass seed down before the Poana. That's the seeds that are in the ground start germinating again. So get new seed down. If it's a large area, you might want to use that fertilizer that has the weed killer in it and will prevent that stuff from coming up. But if it's just small areas, get some grass seed down. Let's get it growing. Perfect time. We got some rain going on here. So let's get all that raked out. It's been a bugger this year.
Now, the Poana is our weed of the week, but it is not a lawn fungus. It looks like one, but it's not, according to your notes. Our fungus of the week is something entirely different.
Fungus of the week is dollar spot, and that's little tiny spots in the lawn, like the size of a silver dollar, and they'll be scattered all over. That's a fungal disease. Sometimes they merge together, but a lot of times it's just little spots. That needs a fungicide on it, and a great time of year to put it down right now because it's raining and it needs to get into the plant. It's a systemic thing. So if you have that, and a lot of people do, get that fungicide down on that plant.
395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, she'll be happy to take it at 395-1450. Your tip of the week involves grass, and just as people sometimes bring things to DeBruyn saying, "What's this? What's that?" Sometimes you say, "Oh, we're going to go again with this stuff," but sometimes it's good. Bring the stuff in, and you can be able to diagnose the problem.
Yes, it's always good because some people, there's different things for different weeds. So like if you have nimbleweed, you would get something different than if you had, say, Bermuda grass or something else. So you need to be able to identify it correctly. Like we had someone yesterday that came in pretty sure he had bent grass. Well, if it's bent grass, it's this. If it's Bermuda grass, it's something completely else. So best to just bring it in. We'll identify it and we'll send you right over to where you need to be in what sort of thing to kill it.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Good morning, Jan. I have an American redbud tree, ornamental tree, in my perennial garden, and the bark is peeling off it this year. What is causing that, and is there a danger to the tree?
Usually it's because it's something to do with the not enough water. It's usually not insects. I
Okay.
wouldn't really worry about it, but I might just go out and make sure it's watered.
Alrighty. Yeah, it's been awfully dry
Can get
this summer.
yeah, I can get something like sunburn, if it gets too hot. So make sure it gets enough water.
Alrighty, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450 is our number for WHTC's Talk of the Town. In this hour, as we do on Tuesdays between 10 and 11, it's the Yard and Garden Hour with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen from DeBruyn Seed on Washington and Elm in downtown Zeeland. A couple more things on our awards category for this week before Patty Vandenberg steps in. The nuisance animal of the week is more, just like the wasp, are more than just an annoyance. This nuisance animal is more than just a nuisance, especially if he or she, you never know, you can't say it's gender specific, decides to attack you with a definite pungent air to it.
Yes, but those little skunks, they love to come into your backyard and they're looking for grubs and other little insects in there. So, and they're really cute when they do it. If you ever watch them, they stick their nose in the ground and then they go a 360 degrees around with their nose in the ground. And then they, go this way and I can get insects. And they'll just dig up your lawn looking for those insects. So, hey, outsmart them. Put some dilax down now, get it watered in. There won't be any insects for them to look for.
One final thing, and this is not so much, let's put it this way. Taking care of skunks is not a fun activity, but there is a fun activity taking care of Ratfink and some of his buddies in your lawn.
Well, this is the time of year when the little mice and rodents think, hey, I'm going to go move in with Jan. So Jan takes the rodent stopper spray and I go all the way around the house wherever they might come in. I spray. Spray around the dryer vents, spray around everything where any little place that they can come in. A quarter of an inch is all the bigger they need because they can kind of move their shoulders around. So don't think it's got to be a big hole. So I spray all around my garage. I spray the baseboards around my garage. I make sure I don't get them. The furnace room, basement, I just spray everywhere and then I don't have that problem. So yes, and it doesn't stink. You can have your kids, your pets sitting right there while you spray. No big deal.
And it's probably even more economical and more efficient than maybe some of natural ways of getting rid of rodents, i.e. cats, i.e. birds. Sometimes they're effective. Other times they're busy doing other things you don't want them to do.
Yes. So, this is an easy way I can get rid of them. They can just stay outside or go somewhere else. I just don't want them. I don't want to share my house with these varmints all winter long.
And we're talking about rodents, but also squirrels, too. You don't want them around, too.
And no, I don't want them around. There's a squirrel stopper that usually you put it around like a bird feeder or whatever, where you don't want them to kind of make a mess. So, yeah, we can do it. In
between rodents, squirrels, chipmunks, let's just say there's enough varmints to keep people busy. And that's our award category with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. Well, Jan, we've gone through our award ceremony. Earlier, we talked about some of the things to do for fall gardening chores for vegetables and herbs. If you missed that conversation, go to our website at WHTC.com in the podcast tab under WHTC Morning News. Listen or download at your convenience for free. So what do we do in the garden now that we're past Labor Day and fall is just right around the corner? Well, there are a lot of things that you can keep in your garden that's still growing, like your
broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cabbage. They're fine. But you can plant some things too. You can plant some greens like collards or mustards. You can plant some lettuce, some spinach. You can still do radishes. Turnips can still be done. So there's still things that you can put in if you want to keep that garden going. Otherwise, you're going to have to start taking things out, especially weeds. We don't want those there.
Yeah, it's kind of a weedy situation. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
What was the name of that spray for mice? I didn't get that.
The spray for the mice?
Yeah.
Rodent stopper.
What was that?
It was
Rodent stopper.
Oh, rodent stopper. Oh,
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate the call.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. 395-1450, 395-1450. Rodent stopper to get rid of the rodents. Squirrel stopper to get rid of the squirrels. Any other stoppers we got?
There's animal stopper that does like deer or rabbits. Seems like there's other things too. There's one for woodchucks. Yeah, there's lots of stoppers out there.
Yeah, to keep them away. And of course, to me, it's a little bit more efficient than trying to, get a hold of a fowler or getting a couple of cats that have mousers.
Yeah, just a little bit easier than that. Yes, I was reading if you can get your landscape all cleared out. I always like to cut down all of the flowers, like the black-eyed Susans and the daisies, and cut those down. Don't give the mice a chance to live there during the winter. Your ornamental grasses, they love living in there during the winter, so cut them down, right on down. You want to clear that out so you don't have anything for them to live in. And if you've got it all clear, then the hawks and stuff can see them running around, and then they can just swoop in and pick them up.
Yeah,
so clear it out.
Let them deal with the with the carcasses, not having to
Yes.
make sure you have to have a little burial and put them in the ground. Yeah, that's what you could do. No headstone though. Don't put a headstone.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how many you have to put up? No.
Yeah, and let's put it this way: the animals, you're not sending a message to the animals by putting little headstones on them because they don't understand that they're animals. Come on.
Yeah, they don't really understand. So yeah.
Yeah. We got a little cooler and we've gotten a little wetter. Can we plant grass now, or do we have to wait?
Actually, pretty good time to plant your grass seed. Remember, it's 5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. It's real important that you put the correct amount down. I mean, people come in here and buy a 25-pound bag because they have 5,000 square feet, and that's perfect. And they come back and I only used half a bag. No, get the other half out and get it down there. That's the most important part is figuring out how many square feet you have. Put the grass seed down, and if you've still got some left, go east-west over the area, and then go north-south, and then go diagonally through it. Just make sure you use the correct amount. Don't go over. If 10 pounds is enough for your area, 25 pounds is going to be way too much, and then all the seedlings will start to send out their little roots and try to grow, and then they just kind of compete with each other, and then they all die. So real important to get the right correct amount down.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yes, I have quite a bit of clay on my lawn. When dry weather, the clay gets so hard. So I'm wondering, do you recommend spreading some gypsum on occasion?
Yes, gypsum will help break that sort of thing up. Yes, that'd be a good idea.
More than once a year? Because it seems like I've tried it before, but it doesn't really last.
Yeah, you got to keep going with that sort of thing. Yeah, more than once.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
the call. Thank you. 395-1450, 395-1450. Putting the seed down is one thing, but augmenting that with, say, fertilizer or some other things might not be a bad idea now. That maybe wasn't so much of a great idea back in the spring.
Yes, fertilizer right now, perfect. It's time for fall fertilizer, but especially if you're putting grass seed down, it needs some nutrients. And so, yeah, that's why we put down the fall fertilizer or the fertilizer for it. But the fertilizer that has the grass or the weed preventer in it, that's the most wonderful thing. You put the fertilizer down with the weed weed preventer, and then you put the grass seed down, you won't get weeds for 6 weeks. So, I mean, you've got 6 weeks where you can be just not even worried about weeds. And we don't get that very often. And by then it should be so cold that the weeds won't grow. So perfect timing.
395-1450. Call us at 395-1450. If a question for Jan Meeuwsen, don't call DeBruyn Seed. Call DeBruyn Seed after the show, after 11 o'clock. You can call DeBruyn Seed to if a question for Jan. But right now, no. 772-2316 during off hours away from the WHTC Talk of the Town program. That's 772-2316. That's the number for DeBruyn Seed. But don't call it now. Jan's talk with us. Call us at 395-1450. Mulch, dethatching, weeds, fertilizing. It's not just simply throwing seeds and hope that, you come back and it's nice and plush. You gotta take care of it.
If you've got a lawn already, but you just want to thicken it up, just throwing grass seed out there probably won't do it. Might be best if you want to dethatch the lawn first. So then you've got some areas where you can throw the grass seed in that are bare that will actually, kind of incorporate in that top 1/8 inch of soil. That's really important. Or use, rent our overseeder where that it's going to put the seed in at the correct level and you can use the correct amount. That works well too. But just remember, get it incorporated in that top 1/8 inch of soil. That's our whole aspiration, is to get that incorporated. Put that fall fertilizer down in there. Yes, and mulch, if you want to put some sort of mulch over your grass because it's on a slope or whatever. I had a guy yesterday that came in and bought peat moss to put over his grass seed that he just put in because it's on a slope. You can use the grass seed, they call it a seed accelerator. Kind of looks like little pellets. You throw it down and water it, and it expands and it traps that water in there. So it's kind of nice. Lets the grass seed grow, but it doesn't let a lot of other problem things happen. So that's kind of nice. Or there's something called the straw mat, where it actually, you unroll it and put it on there, and it's got a tackifier in it, which means it will stick and it won't blow off. So that's kind of nice.
Let's get to a call, and then we'll talk some other things as well. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener.
Good morning, Jan. Checking with you. I think I know what to do, but I have canna bulbs, calla lily bulbs, and an amaryllis, couple pots on the deck in pots. Good time now to dump those out, try to dry the bulbs and cut the tops off and then store them. Is that correct?
Good time now. You might want to kind of chop off the tops first and then bring them into a cooler area like the basement and lay them on their side so they really go dormant before you pull them out.
Oh, okay. Do that in the pot and then in a few weeks or a few days?
Yep. It shouldn't take too long to go completely dormant. Yeah.
And then I can dig my gladiola bulbs too and do the same thing with them. They're in the garden, not pots.
Yep, you bet.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Oh, good day to do that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. We're talking on September 8th, Jan, and coming attraction within the next month, box elders and the stink bugs.
They're out there. They are congregating. I saw some by the radio station when I came on Saturday. They're out there. They're just waiting to go up on your walls someday. Might be the first sunny day, once we get after this. But they're out there. Get out there and do an insect perimeter around your house. Home defense works really well. Go from your house out 4 feet and then go up on the foundation around the doors and windows. We don't want them to spend the winter with us inside.
Not just box elders, but other seasonal insects.
We got those little Asian ladybugs. They'll come in. Remember, they bite. We don't like them. Those stink bugs come in. Box elder bugs come in. There's a couple of them that come in. Oh, the root weevils come in. There's too many things that want to come in and spend winter with you. They're very social like us. But remember, we are we're on the lockdown, so we can't have them come in.
Yeah, be socially distanced with them. Good morning.
Yeah.
On the line with the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yes, good morning. I have a half a dozen blueberry bushes in my yard and this season, and it's a very hard clay ground. And we had just a handful of little tiny blueberries. Just wondering what I can do to improve for next season.
Well, this is a good time of year. You usually put sulfur down around those sort of things in the fall to decrease the pH of the soil. That would be a good thing to do. And then also, if it's really kind of a hard clay, you might want to think about throwing some gypsum around them to break that up too.
Okay, all right. And then with the sulfur, amount-wise, can I end up overdoing with sulfur, or?
What's the pH of the soil right now?
I will have to come in and have it checked. I honestly do not know.
Okay, so no, you probably can't overdo it. It's probably way too high. So we want it way low. So yeah, you would probably be adding sulfur every fall for a while.
Okay, all right. If I come in, do you still check soil?
We don't do it here. We have to send it out, but we can definitely send it out for you. That's not a problem.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. One more insect question, Jan. Gypsy moth egg clusters. It's safari for those right now.
Yeah, it was a bad year in certain areas for gypsy moths. So now is the time that we go out with a bucket of sudsy water and a paint scraper, and we look for the very distinctive buff colored, kind of fuzzy looking, they're teardrop shape. They'll be like on the side of the tree, on the side of the house, on your lawn furniture, anywhere that they can get and lay these clusters. So you want to take that little paint scraper and scrape it right down into the sudsy water to kill them. They're nasty little things. We don't need another overwhelming amount of gypsy moths next year. So you need to be on the lookout always when you're in your backyard or wherever you had the problem. Look for that teardrop kind of buff colored fuzzy thing. That's where there's probably 300, 400, 500 little caterpillars could come out of there.
And finally, is it too late to take care of the hummingbirds, or is it still time they're still around?
No, they're still around. They're eating like crazy right now because we're getting a lot of them that are starting to go through. So if you haven't put any hummingbird feeder food out, this is the time of year to get that nectar out. They are stopping. They'll probably stop now that it's raining so much. They'll probably stop migrating for a couple of days. So make sure you keep it full because they'll be in this area right now. So get them filled.
She is the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen from DeBruyn Seed. She joins us every Tuesday from 10 to 11 with the Yard and Garden Hour, as well as around 8:35 with the Garden Party, and the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show comes your way Saturday mornings at 11 here on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. When she is not with us, say hi to her at DeBruyn Seed, Washington Home in downtown Zeeland. 772-2316 is the number to chat with Jan away from the radio station. As always, Jan, thank you for your time and your expertise. Look forward to chatting with you again next Tuesday morning. Thank you, Jan.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. The WHTC Talk of the Town program comes your way, continues in a few moments, following CBS News with Steve Kathan at the top of the hour.